everyone, welcome to the Graceful Skinny. Today I've got for you a curriculum quick look is what I'm calling this. I cannot say that I can call this a full review because this is part of a bigger kit that I don't have all of the pieces to. What we're looking at today is Singapore Math's second grade workbook, part 1, so 2A. And I'll kind of explain what I have learned about what this is, and we can go from there. First, let me explain why I have this. My local library does a used book sale every now and then, and I was able to pick through, and I found this basically new workbook with 0 writing in it for 50 cents. And seeing as I've got this channel, and I know there's a lot of you out there that are always curious about different curriculums, I went ahead and grabbed this so that I could bring it to you guys so you could see it. So let's get into what I have learned about Singapore Math and what I feel about this particular book. First off, one of the first things I learned is Singapore Math comes in 2 editions. There is Standards Edition, which is what this is, and then you have the US edition, which it's just apparently, the only difference between them is apparently the order that they present things. At a local homeschool convention, I was able to flip through a US edition workbook, and I really couldn't see where the differences lay between the US edition and the Standards edition. So I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between the two. So if this is something that interests you, you will have to do that research on which edition you want for yourself. Secondly, the Singapore Math basically has 4 separate pieces you have to buy. There is the workbooks, and then there are the textbooks. And for some reason, each of these is divided into 2 pieces. So there is a textbook A and B and a workbook A and B. The textbook kind of explains through the math and has colored illustrations to kind of work through and show the kids and engage it. The workbook is black and white. At these younger levels, I did have it verified that at these younger levels, if you wanted to skip and forego the textbook to save some money, you could just use the workbooks. Like Horizons, each of these books are going to run you about $20 per book from what I have seen. So that is something to consider. I do kind of like the illustrations a little bit more. They seem to be a little bit more clear. I was a little surprised, and I don't know if this is just because this is the Standards Edition versus the US edition thing. I don't know if it's a standard across the board and I just wasn't aware of it thing. But this is the 2A. So this is the first half of the second grade workbook. And you will notice that about halfway through the first workbook, they introduce multiplication and division, which kind of blew me away. I didn't think that they started that until like 3rd grade. And so for them to be starting it so early into 2nd grade was kind of a mind blower for me. So that's something to consider on whether or not you want to tackle that with your child or not. Anyways, so I'm going to give a hesitant tentative rating, and I am only rating this specific workbook because, again, I haven't been able to get my hands on the Standard Edition for any of the other pieces. At the expo, I was able to see the US editions for both the workbook and not the 2B. I couldn't find 2B anywhere. So just for the 2A Standard Edition workbook, I am going to give it a rating of 3. I'm not extremely, oh my gosh, I'm in love with it. Flipping through it, I am intrigued. I did, after looking through it, I did want to research it more, not just so that I could have a better review for you guys, but so that I could learn about it for my daughter for 2nd grade. Will we be using it for 2nd grade? I really don't know. It is so early in the year for us. As a matter of fact, because I filmed these so far in advance, it's actually still July for me. So we don't start our school until next week. So I can't say for sure what we will or won't use for second grade. It's definitely on my radar for second grade, and I'm definitely going to spend some time researching it. But I can't say for sure if I just truly love it or not. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe and follow along. If I do end up using it, I will be sure to let you know when that time comes. And I often give curriculum and fun book finds throughout the year. So be sure to like and subscribe and follow along if you want to continue to get fun book finds and curriculum reviews throughout the year. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.